We are here with Don Cippolini. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, you are.
Okay, and you are a PhD at Wright State University in biology, and
That's right.
The professor of plant physiology, chemical ecology, director of the environmental sciences PhD program at Wright State University. I had noticed an article in the Dayton Daily News last week, it was like this past weekend, about them going to be spraying. One of the lines in the article said that it was safe, officials said, and I tried not to take a deferential view on anything as far as like what officials said, so I did a little research. It only takes a couple of clicks on Google, and you can find out a lot, and did find out that it was considered at least in large amounts, of course, concentrated, a toxic pesticide. But it really, I didn't get, they're like small, like plastic snowflakes, if I'm correct.
Right.
Okay, and it's spread over certain areas where they believe gypsy moth infestation, and it causes them to be confused about where to go to the females. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a pheromone.
Okay. Yep. But other than that, what I really wanted to find out was, what is the safety of, what kind of long-range effects do we know? What do we know?
Okay, let me tell you what I know.
Okay.
And again, this is not anything I've directly worked with, but I know quite a bit about it. I came from out of a program at Penn State University where people were working on the development of this and testing of it back as far as the early 70s.
Okay.
And I also worked in a lab that studied gypsy moths and oak tree interactions.
Okay.
So I have kind of a history with this sort of research. I also do research in my lab on tree, plant, insect, plant pathogen interactions. So,
okay.
First of all, the product is called Disrupt.
Okay.
2. Yeah. So first of all, let me just explain what this is. It's a mating disruptor, and that's why it's called Disrupt. What the active ingredient is in the product is called Disparler, which is a mating pheromone that's produced by females that males orient toward in nature, and it's how they find females in order to mate with them.
Okay.
Because females do not move very far in the gypsy moth. They don't fly. They just crawl around the trees. Okay. Males have to come to them.
Okay.
Okay. So the concept behind this kind of product is, first there had to be the discovery of the compound, which took a lot of research. Then the idea is to produce a product that could be more or less sprinkled out there aerially, and that would prevent the male gypsy moths from finding the females appropriately.
Yeah.
They might still find some of them, but if they're misled, they go down the wrong path and they follow the smell coming from these small flakes, as you described. These are small plastic flakes that this product is embedded in. They can't find a female, and then they die before they mate, is what it comes down to. Now, this product is not a pesticide. It is not toxic directly to the gypsy moth. All it does is...
Now, why is it listed as a pesticide? Why is it listed as a pesticide on the, I forget the name of the company's website that creates it?
Well, I think that EPA registration still requires it to be called a pesticide.
Okay.
Because it does result in lack of reproduction in the species, for example. But I guess my point is it's not a toxic... It doesn't exert its action through toxicity.
Okay.
It doesn't kill the gypsy moths. All it simply does is, again, being a natural pheromone, they follow the wrong trail, is what it comes down to, and males end up expiring before they can actually mate with a female, and that prevents reproduction in the species.
Okay.
And the pheromone is very specific for gypsy moth, in that it does not attract, from what I've read, it does not attract other species of moths or any other insects for that matter. And again, it does not have any direct toxicity. And and getting to that end of things, the amounts used of active ingredient, if you've looked at, I can send you also for your own information a link to a good document from 2006 from the Forest Service on this product. Maybe you've come across it yourself. Essentially, the rates used that I've seen are about 15 milligrams of active ingredient spread across an acre.
Okay.
Okay, so you're talking about, a quarter of a teaspoon or something sprinkled across an acre of ground.
Okay.
Now, the only toxicities that I've seen are, according to the EPA standards, are at such high, it requires so much product to be ingested in some of these are rat studies that they essentially label this a non-toxic compound. You have to force feed rats, quite a bit in order to get any toxicity at all.
Okay.
And the coupled with the low concentrations that are applied and the way this works, it's essentially considered a non-toxic compound. It's applied at such low rates, and this goes back to the physiology of the insect. If you can imagine, this whole pheromone situation requires a small moth to be producing very small amounts of an odor, essentially, that males need to detect from very far away in some cases. Okay, they have receptors for these pheromones, and they're extremely sensitive to very low concentrations, which actually makes it very good to use it in this kind of application because it does not take much active ingredient to do the trick.
Okay.
So these male moths are very sensitive to the compound. You don't need much in order to attract them somewhere.
So you wouldn't have a problem with like spraying like this going on in your neighborhood then?
No.
Okay.
No, this, from what I've read, again, there is no evidence, there's no cases of human toxicity. There's, in the mammal studies that have been done, it requires a great deal of active ingredient that would be extremely unlikely to be encountered in the environment to produce any toxicity at all. In fact, there are more problems in terms of human physiology